In this session, we will discuss about interpolation. As the introduction for interpolation, we can say in one way this interpolation can be identified as a statistical method which related known values are used to estimate an unknown value using the existing data. Even though we are saying this as this as a statistical method, but the basic idea or the base of this technique is actually coming under mathematics. Therefore, as the applied mathematics it is coming under the title of applied mathematics, but anyhow, we cannot just say it as completely applied, but uh, the theoretical parts are there for the interpolation. Therefore, the theoretical quantities obtained for interpolation can be now used as the statistical technique as the applied mathematics. Therefore, in simply we can say in the interpolation, what we are going to do is we are going to estimate for obtain estimates for unknown values uh, of a given set of values using the existing value that they have provided for us. Therefore, interpolation is, we can say interpolation is achieved by using other established values that are located in sequence with the unknown value. Therefore, now it is quite, if you write it in this way, now think about if you are having set of x values here and set of y values. Now, if you know about this pair of values, if you know this pair of values and you know one x value here, but the value here is missing, and you know some other values here also, and you know now the technique that we can use here is to estimate a value for this quantity. You can use the interpolation technique. Therefore, based on the existing value, we are going to estimate the value for this missing quantity. Therefore, now if you see about this concept in a mathematical form, now we'll say if it is a given set of tabular values, it is quite like this. Here you may have several x values and several y values. Then what we are going to do here is we may have a set of x values, tabular values as the paired values x naught, y naught, x1, y1, likewise up to n plus 1 number of points altogether. Then we may say that the last number would be now xn comma yn. And this should be satisfy the relation given as y equals fx, and still we do not know the explicit nature of fx. It is quite like if you see about this table, you just know what is the value of x and what is the value of y only. Still, you do not know what is the exact function which is allocated for this y. Here, just we know the only these points only. Now, we can use this interpolation techniques to obtain this function for y even. Therefore, what then we can say y is if y equals fx, where the explicit nature of fx is not known, and it is required to find a simpler function. If you need to identify a simpler function, just say px. Here, what we are going to identify is for this given set of values, we are going to identify a simpler function which is in the form of px, such that fx and px agree that set of tabulated points. Now it is quite like this. Now think about you may have set of x values here and y values here. Now these y values may coming under a function called fx. Still we do not know what is the exact function. Therefore, using or based on the existing values, we are going to identify what is the appropriate function that we can use to denote y. Therefore, such function is said to be px, and if you compare this px and fx, the px should be agree with the or px as well as fx should be satisfied with this tabulated points. Here also we are just using, we can say this as an approximation method. It is here we are not going to find the exact function of fx. Here we are going to find the simpler function in the form of px. Then this process can be called as interpolation. And if px is said to be a polynomial, then the process can be named as the polynomial interpolation. Normally, this process is meant to be the interpolation, and if Px is in the form of polynomial, then we can say the process is called as the polynomial interpolation. In this section, we will discuss about two methods which can be used for interpolation, but these are not the only methods that we can use for interpolation as the interpolation technique. There are many more methods that we can use, but among those methods, I will discuss about the Newton's polynomial for interpolation as well as the Lagrange's interpolation formula. In this session, I will discuss about the Newton's polynomial for interpolation. Now we will see what is meant as this Newton's polynomial for interpolation. Uh, we can use this Newton polynomial interpolation for the purpose of interpolating the values as well as approximating a function for a given set of data. When we are going to use this Newton's polynomial for interpolation, inside this technique, we can divide this into two methods. One is the Newton's forward differencing technique, and the next one is the Newton's backward differencing technique. Then we can identify two subcategories inside this method. It is Newton's polynomial for interpolation. And the important thing that we have to keep in our mind is we can apply the Newton polynomial for interpolation if the values of x are equally spaced. If the values of x are equally spaced, then we can say that we can use Newton's polynomial for interpolation. It means that according to the situation, we may able to use the Newton's forward differencing technique as well as the Newton's backward differencing technique. But anyhow, if you need to use one of these methods, forward method or backward method, what you have to check first is whether the data set it is fitted to apply one of these Newton polynomial. It means that the condition is the values of x should be equally spaced. It is quite like this. Now think about this is the value that we are considering as x0. This may be the value that we are considering as x1. This may be value x2, and I am considering another value as x3. And if you are considering any given two consecutive points, then this distance should be same. Therefore, it means that here I am taking this distance as h, and this should be equally spaced. Therefore, this distance should be always also equal to x, and this quantity also should be equal to x. This is what we are saying as equally spaced value of x. Therefore, if you consider any two given consecutive values, then the distance between any two consecutive values should be equal throughout the set of data. Therefore, in such situation, we can apply the Newton polynomial for interpolation. Now we will look for the Newton's forward difference interpolation formula, which is abbreviated by NFIN. If you are going to use the Newton's forward interpolation formula, the thing that we need to check is the first thing we need to check is whether the values of x are equally spaced. If the values are equally spaced, then we can use one of these two techniques, forward method or backward method. And if you need to apply the forward method here, what we are going to do is we are going to interpolate the values using this method, and we can apply the Newton's forward difference interpolation formula if it is need to interpolate the values at the beginning of a set of tabular values. It is quite like this. Now, you may have set of values in this form. Now, think about this is the set of values you are having. Here you can see set of x values and y values. Now, you are having x1, then y1 here, then x3, y3, then x5, y5. Now, if you consider about any of these two, then the distance should be same. Therefore, now if you need to tabulate, I will take another value x7, y7. Now, if you need to identify a value which is at the beginning of this set, it is sometimes somewhat here. Now think about if you need to get the value for x2. Now what is the associated value for x2? In this situation, now you can see that this value is somewhat at the very beginning of this data set. Therefore, in a situation like this, then you can apply this Newton's forward interpolation formula, which is abbreviated by NFIF, which stands for the Newton's forward interpolation formula. The Newton's forward interpolation formula, the equation form of this can be written in this way. Here, yx equals y naught. This is the initial value that we are considering for the data set. Then this plus p times delta y naught. Then p times p minus 1 divided by 2 factorial into delta squared y naught. Actually, this delta is stands for the difference. Delta is the here we are saying it is delta 1. Delta 1 it is for the first differencing. Even though we are using delta square, it is not just square in the difference. Here we it is just a notation. We are using this notation just to denote the second difference. Then second here we can say this as a single term. We can say this as a single term. Here delta y naught is the first difference we are taking for y naught, and delta squared y naught is the second difference we are considering for y naught. Likewise, we can say if you are having n number of differencing, we can say the forward interpolation formula can be written as this form. Once the nth term can be obtained as p times p minus 1 times p minus 2, likewise up to p minus n plus 1. Here, this value is obtained as since we are having in p minus, here the actual value would be n minus 1. Then this gives the value as p minus n plus 1. It is quite like this. Now think about this. Here you are considering second difference. Therefore, the value that the maximum value that you can see here is 1. For the third difference, the value that you can hear is 2. Therefore, if it is the nth difference, then this value should be n minus 1. Once you solve the bracket, we can write this as p minus n plus 1 divided by n factorial. This is the Newton's forward interpolation formula that we are using, and here yx is the function or this approximated function that we are obtaining using this NFIF, where y naught is the initial value and delta y naught is the first differencing, delta 2 y naught is the second differencing, while delta n y naught denotes the n differencing. And we are defining the p as x minus x naught divided by h, where h is the difference between any two given consecutive points. Here, we can use this equation to identify the value of h. And simply, we can say the value of h can be simply obtained taking the difference between any two consecutive points. Here, if it is x1 and x2, then x2 minus x1 gives the value in between these 2 points. Always the lower value should be subtracted from the higher value. If it is x3, then the distance between x3 and x2 has to be considered as the value of h. This is the equations which we require to apply the Newton's forward interpolation formula. Now we will go for an example for this Newton's forward interpolation formula. Here it is asked to identify a cubic polynomial, which means that a polynomial with degree 3 cubic polynomial which takes the following values. It means that if there is a cubic polynomial which satisfies for these values, then we have to identify that cubic polynomial using Newton's forward interpolation formula. Here the method is given for us. It is because the base on the value that we need to interpolate is y2. If you see about this set of values and if we tabulate it, I will discuss these things in the example. Here you can see it is the first value, third value, fifth value, and seventh value. It is quite like the value of y where x equals 1 is 24. The value of y where x equals 3 is 120. The value of y where x equals 5 is 336, while the value of y where x equals 7 is 720. Therefore, now what you are asked to do first is, first of all, you are asked to find an equation which satisfies for this set of values, and you are asked to obtain that equation using Newton's forward interpolation formula, and using the obtained equation you are asked to obtain the value for y2. It means that value of y where x equals 2. If you tabulate these values, then what you can do is, it is quite like this. It will be easy for us rather than using these wordings. Once you tabulate the values, here you may have set of values for x and set of values for y. In the value of x equals 1, value of y is now equals to 24. Then we can say the value of x equals 3, value of y is 120. When the value of x equals 5, y is 336. When x equals 7, y equals 720. This is the set of tabular values that they have given, and first of all they are asking about what is this y, what is the function which represents this y. Now what we need to do is, we need to identify this value. They are asking what is this f. This is what we need to identify using a Newton's forward polynomial interpolation formula. Okay, when you are using this Newton's forward interpolation formula, first of all, you need to obtain the differencing table or difference table. The difference table can be obtained just considering the difference of given two consecutive values. Now, if you see about the first column contains the value that we have written for x. The values that we have written for x is now included in the first column. Then the values they have given for y is in the second column. Therefore, when you are constructing the difference table, this is the normal method that we are writing first and second column. After writing the x and y values accordingly, then you can go to construct the remaining column. When you are creating the difference table, the things that you have to keep in your mind is, when you are creating the difference table, you should have to identify a point where should I stop this calculation. Normally, we can terminate the calculation once we are having the value for any given difference as given value is, it is just a single point. It is quite like, now you can see that in the third difference, here I have obtained a single point. If it is until you obtain a single point, you can continue the differences. Or else, if you consider any given difference, ending the all values with 0. If all the values ending of a given difference is 0, then you can terminate the difference. It is quite like this. Now think about, if you have obtained the values at the second difference. If you consider the second differencing values are now equal to 0. Therefore, if you have obtained this set of values, there is no need for go beyond this. It is no need to go beyond this. It is because now you have identified all the values of second differencing is equal to 0. Thereafter, even though if you have continued them, you are getting all the values are 0. Therefore, these are the uh, two methods that we can use to identify where should we stop the calculations for the uh, difference table. But in generally we are ending up with until we are getting a single point, we can perform this differencing, or else up to the required number of difference. Once we get the relevant required number of difference that we need to use for the calculation, in that point also, you can terminate the calculation of difference table. Now we will see how we can obtain the values in this differencing table. Here you can see these are the values that they have given x and y values. Now you have to use these two values, 120 and 24. You have to consider these values to obtain the value 96. Here we can obtain this 96 just by taking the difference between second y value and first y value. It is 120 minus 24 gives you the value as 96. That is how we are obtaining this 96. Then this value can be obtained just by taking the difference between third and the second value. Therefore, now you have to consider these two values to obtain the difference at this point. Means 336 minus 120 gives you the value as 260. Likewise, you can use these two values to obtain the value 384. Now you have finished all the values associated for the second column. Now you can see in the third column, this is the first difference that you have obtained, and then you can use these values to obtain the second difference. And likewise, you can the obtain values for the second difference is 120 and 160. Then you can consider these two values to obtain the third difference. And the notations that we can use for first, second, and third difference are delta, delta 2, and delta 3. Here, these are not the square terms. Here, just the here what we have used as them as the symbols on the delta 1 is for first difference, delta 2 is for second difference, and delta 3 is for third difference. This is how you are obtaining the differencing table. Now, you can terminate the calculation since you have obtained a single point for difference. Now, what we can do is, now we can apply the Newton's forward interpolation formula. First of all, we will identify a function. It is the thing they asked us to do at the initially. If you use the Newton's forward interpolation formula, first of all, we need to identify what is the value of x naught and what is the value of h. According to the given set of values, the very first value which we can see in the table X or the column X would be considered as the value of X. What we are saying, it is the initial value of X. And the value of H can be considered, or we can obtain the value of H just taking the difference between any two given consecutive points here. 3 minus 1 is 2, 5 minus 3 is 2, 7 minus 5 is also 2. Now you can see that these x values are equally spaced, therefore you can use this Newton's polynomial. Then you can see the value of x naught is 1, value of h is equal to 2. Then you have to use these values in the equation provided to calculate the value for p. The equation provided to calculate the value for p is x minus x naught. It means that p is equal to x minus x naught divided by h. Then we can say here they are asked us to obtain a function, and this is the value that we are considering as the unknown value. Still we are having this value as x. Still they are not asked to identify a value for this. Therefore we can say this is the value of x, and this minus x naught. X naught is the initial value that they have provided. It is equal to 1, and then this has to be divided by value of x. Now x is equal to 2. Therefore the value of p can be identified as x minus 1 divided by 2. As an example, in here, they are asked us to find a polynomial. But for some cases, they may ask to find what is the value of y2 using Newton's interpolation formula. Here, what we can do is here, if you are asked to obtain a value for this quantity without finding a formula. If this is they are asking, then this value has to be now taken as the value of x. It is the thing that we have to consider. If they are asked us to find or evaluate a value for a question like this, then this value can should be appeared as the value of x. Since in this section they are asking us to identify a polynomial associated with this set of data, then we instead of the value appears here, we can still use the value as x. That is why we are using x here, and all the others are numeric values. Then we can identify value of p is equals to x minus 1 divided by 2. Now you can apply it inside the Newton's forward interpolation formula. This is the general form of Newton's polynomial interpolation formula. And now we will do it appropriate accordingly for the given example. Still be here we do not need to go up to the nth differencing. It is because the calculation is now ending up with the third differencing. It is because there is no any values beyond the third differencing in our difference table. Therefore, we will do the uh, substitution here. Value of y naught. If value of y naught means the value that it is given for the function where x naught is equal to 1. Now you can see at the point x naught equals 1, the value of y is now equal to 24. Therefore, this is obtained as x naught, and this value should be now equal to y naught. Therefore, value of y naught is equal to 24. This plus value of p. P has obtained as x minus 1 divided by 2, and here we are using the delta y naught. Is just a notation. In the next step, we will see what are the values that we can use for differencing of y naught, first, second, and third difference. It is the first the term associated with the values associated with first term. The second term is given as p times p minus 1 divided by 2 factorial into second differencing of y naught, which is delta squared y naught. Value of p was identified as x minus 1 divided by 2. Then this part would be x minus 1 divided by 2. And the next part, p minus 1, can be now written as x minus 1 divided by 2 minus 1. It means p minus 1. Then this has to be divided by 2 factorial, then multiplied with second difference of y. Then the third term can be written as p times p minus 1 times p minus 2. The appropriate substitution is this, and this has to be divided by 3 factorial, and then we can multiply it by the third differentiation of y naught. Here we have considered this as x naught and this as y naught. When we are obtaining these differencing values, the values which appear in this section, the values which appears in this section has to be identify the difference value. The values that you have obtained in this case, you can take. Here, this is the value of y naught we are considering, and delta y naught is 96, and delta squared y naught is 120. Likewise, delta cube y naught is equal to 40. Therefore, this is how we are substituting the values for delta y naught, delta 2 y naught, and delta 3 y naught. Therefore, the values in this form has to be, means the first value of the each column should be taken as the appropriate differencing when we are using the Newton's forward interpolation formula. And once you perform this calculation, I have solved these parts, and then the values were divided by 2 factorial. Here you all know what is about this factorials. If we refresh our mind regarding n factorial, this equals to n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 times until we are getting, we have to do the multiplication 3 times 2 times 1. This is what we have said to be the n factorial. Therefore, using the substitution and do the appropriate arithmetic calculation, then you may get an equation, a set of equation in this form. Then once you cancel out the values, then in this step you can see that the things inside the bracket has now solved furthermore, and these the values in the denominator was cancelled out with these multipliers. 2 with 98, 96 was 48, this 120 with 8, cancel out as 15, then 48 with 48 as 1. Therefore, this is what we are obtaining for these three quantities. Therefore, we can obtain the function for yx, or this can be considered as the appropriate cubic model for the given set of data. Then in simply you can say that If you substitute the values of x, then you may get the approximations of y. Not the, you may not get the exact values, but you may get the approximations only. It is because this is an approximation method we can use. In the second part of this question, they are asked us to obtain the value of y2 using this technique. Using this technique, here we can see that the equation. This is they are asking at the very beginning, asked to obtain a cubic polynomial. Now the highest degree of here in this equation is x cubed. Therefore, we can say that the polynomial is x cube plus 6x squared plus 11x plus 6. Then you are asked to obtain a value for function y where x equals to. Therefore, one should do the uh, substitution. Appropriate substitution gives you the value as the function as 60 at the point of x equals to. And sometimes you may be asked without obtaining, or you may be it is quite like. Now think about this part. If the table is given for you and you are asked to obtain a value for, you are asked to obtain a value for uh, x equals 2. This is what they are asking. Now they may ask, if you ask to obtain what is the value of y when x equals 2, you are may ask what is the value of y x equals 2. In this situation, you can definitely use the Newton's forward interpolation formula. It is because the value that we need to approximate is at somewhat beginning of this data set. Therefore, we can use directly Newton's interpolation forward interpolation formula. Now you may identify h is you can see value of h is equal to, and to identify the value of p, what you can do is now you may take the value of x equal to 2. Value of x is now equal to 2. It is because this is the value that you need to identify, that you need to obtain the value of y where x equals 2. Therefore, here in this form we can say the value of p is now equal to 0.5. Therefore, you can try for this obtaining this value uh, value of y2, and without obtaining the equation also you can obtain the same value. Therefore, you can try for it as your own work. Then as a self study you can do it. It means you need to identify, do this calculation by substituting x equals 2. And now we will move for the next part. It is the Newton's backward interpolation formula. Normally the Newton's backward interpolation formula is abbreviated as NBIF. Newton's backward interpolation formula. This is the abbreviation used for Newton's backward interpolation formula. When we discuss about the Newton's forward interpolation formula, you was learned that we can use the NFIF method or forward method to interpolate or estimate the values at the beginning of a set of tabular values. And now you can say that we can use the Newton's backward interpolation formula if you need to obtain the interpolation near the end of the tabular values. It is quite, if you see about the previous data set, now think about if you need to identify the value of 6, if you need to identify what is the value of y allocated for 6, then in this method, in this way, you can apply the Newton's backward differencing technique. It is because this is a value which is somewhat near to the end part of this data set. And one thing you have to keep in your mind, when you are performing interpolation, you are always going to estimate the value in between the minimum and the maximum. You cannot go beyond the minimum or else beyond the maximum. Therefore, if the region is given for you, this may be the region A and B. It is for the values of x. Therefore, you can perform the interpolations only for this region only. You can interpolate the values of this region only. You cannot go for the this region. It is a value which is less than a or value greater than b. You cannot go for this region. This cannot be happen, as well as this cannot be happen. The only possible region that you can is the given set of values. This is the only possible region that you can perform this interpolation. This in this region you can perform the interpolation, but in these two regions you cannot perform the interpolation. That is the next thing you have to keep in your mind when you are using whatever technique for interpolation. Okay, now if you come back to this Newton's backward differentiation technique, this is the equation we can use for Newton's backward differentiation formula. Here we will start it from this equation can be used to identify the the polynomial interpolation. Actually, the function which is used to interpolate the values. Therefore, you can obtain it using this equation. Here we are using yn. It is the nth value. It means the last value of the data set we are using. In the previous method, we had used the initial value, but here you will use the last value of the data set. Then this plus p nabla yn. Nabla yn is the again we will see what is the value that we can use, and this notation is said to be the nabla. Then nabla yn will be used here, and then the next term will be p into p plus 1 divided by 2 factorial, p into p plus 1 divided by 2 factorial into nabla 2 yn. It is the second differencing for obtained for the final value. This is nabla yn is the first differencing obtained for last value. Nabla 2 yn is the second difference obtained for last value. Likewise, the third one can be now obtained as p times p plus 1 times p plus 2 divided by 3 factorial into nabla 3 yn. The nabla 3 yn is the third difference for the last value of this data set. Likewise, if you are having n number of values, we can go for this the this term. It is p into p plus 1 into p plus 2 into where p plus n minus 1 here, and until n minus 1 we can go. It is because in the second difference we went up to 1, in the third difference we went up to 2 only. Therefore, in the nth difference we have to go for n minus 1. That is how we are obtaining these values, and this has to be divided by n factorial and multiplied with the nabla n yn. It is the nth difference for the last value of the data set. And if you go through these values for p and h, still the h is same as previous. H is the difference between any two given consecutive points. Any two given consecutive points, the value the difference can be considered as h, and the value of p. The value of p can be given as x minus xn divided by h, where x is the unknown value. Still, we do not know what is the value. This is the here. This is actually it is the value which we need to identify, not the unknown value. Unknown value is y. The value associated with this unknown quantity is this x, and this x minus xn. Here xn is meant to be the last value of the data set, and this has to be divided by h, and h is the difference between any two given consecutive points. This is one example that we can consider for this Newton's backward interpolation formula. Here the values in degrees are used here. Values of x are given, and they are meant to be, this is given as the function of sine x. But the next disadvantage of this method is, here we are going to just to identify the polynomials only. Here we are not going to identify any trigonometric equations using these interpolation techniques, as the difference table is given. Now think about, if this set of values were given just as y, then we do not know whether actually it is coming under sine x or any other trigonometric function. That is one another disadvantage in this method. Therefore, here the set of values are given, and here they are directly asking what is the value which we can determine for sine 38 degrees. The set of values you can see, and if you see about where the sine 38 value, it means that 38 degrees is lies somewhat here. Therefore, we can say that it is in the latter part of this data set. Therefore, we can use the Newton's backward interpolation formula to obtain the value for this quantity. In this in the in this method also, first of all, we need to obtain the difference table, and the method of obtaining difference table is same as previous. There is no any change in the method of obtaining difference table. Therefore, using the same method that you have identified at the previous, then you can obtain the difference values. All the same notations are used here. Then delta, delta 2, delta 3, delta 4, and delta 5 is used. I can terminate the calculation at the point delta 5. It is because we can see that we have obtained a single value for this fifth one. It is the fifth difference. You obtain a single point, therefore no need to go beyond that point, that difference in there. Then you can find out what are the values that we need for calculation here. Then we can say that we need the value of xn. It is because if you need to identify a value for p, you need x minus xn divided by h, and h can be identified as the difference between two consecutive points. Then the value of xn is now equal to 40. It is because the last value that you can see in this data set is 40. Therefore, we can say value of xn is equal to 40, and value of h equals 5. It is the difference between two consecutive points. And according to this example, you can see that all the differences are same. If you consider any two consecutive points, now the differences are same between the among these data points. Therefore, you can say you can use the Newton's interpolation formula. Either it is forward or backward. Here we need to use backward. It is because we need to identify the value of y for the x equals 38. Likewise, you can obtain the value of h as 5, and then you need to identify value of p. Here, I am not going to consider the obtaining of this polynomial. It is because here we are having somewhat numeric values, somewhat having several decimal places. Therefore, I am not interested about identifying of polynomial for this, since I just need to identify value for a single point. Therefore, I will directly do the substitution and do the calculation. Therefore, what I can do here is to obtain the value of p, it can be obtained as x minus xn divided by h. Then you can do the substitution. Value of x is 38. It is the value that we are used to identify. It is the value of x, it is 38. Then this minus value of xn is now 40, and value of h is equal to 5. And you can say that now this value of p is equal to 0 0.4, well, minus 0 0.4, since this equation gives the value of p as minus 0 0.4. Then you can use this Newton's backward interpolation formula. This is the Newton's backward interpolation formula, and then you can do the substitution. When you are using the Newton's backward interpolation, you have seen that there were some notations: nabla yn, nabla 2yn, nabla 3yn, likewise nabla n yn. Therefore, here also this nabla is the differencing, and in here the values which needs to use with the nabla should be the values that you can see in here. In the previous, you have identified the values from the beginning, and now you are taking the values from the ending of this. Therefore, you may say that these may be the values that you can take for nabla. Therefore, this is the value that you have already identified as yn. No need to take it again. This is the value you have taken for yn. Therefore this would be the value that you are taking for nabla yn. Then this is the value nabla 2 yn. This value is the nabla 3 yn. Likewise this would be nabla 5. Now you are having the values for all these differences with respect to the last value. Then the successful substitution gives you the set of values, and you can end up the calculation as 0.615661. For therefore you can say that this is the value that you are getting as y where x equals 38, where y where x equals 38 is equal to 0.615614. And this is one exercise that you can use Newton's forward interpolation formula and backward interpolation formula. You can go through this exercise by yourself, and the solutions also given. And here you have to use a suitable technique, that is forward method or backward method. Using the appropriate method, you have to evaluate the set of values. Therefore this is all that I need to discuss under Newton's polynomial, and thank you all for joining with this session.